Hi, it's Rachel Maldonado,
This is Michael Yan.
And this is Jaime Rodriguez.
and this is the Men's Roundtable. I hope you keep it raw and real. And the topic is men's health. So, mind, body, they go together. You agree?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that's very important is don't do drugs, don't do intoxicants. Get your sleep. Sleep is key, obviously.
Ooh,
Sleep is one of the number one things right there. It's easy. Sleep costs how much? Zero.
Exactly. And then
And there's no
I always
prescription.
say, I work so hard on this one is do your exercises. I mean, don't take that many pills. Some people take pills for everything. It's so bad. I mean, so bad. I mean, you have a headache, you take a pill, and instead of letting your body fight, and they're becoming so weak. Everything is to make you weaker, and then it's so important. And for me, like I mean, being physically and like I said, Michael said, sleeping well, eating well, that's the best. I mean, because body and mind are the perfect machine.
It's funny, Masako and I, we're in Bangkok right now. And just 3 years ago, there was no dope stores here. Now they're everywhere. Thousands, actually. I'm not exaggerating. If you look on Google Maps, you can look up, cannabis stores, and you'll see they're all over Thailand now. And not all, and most of them are not populated on the maps, but there are huge numbers on the maps now. And they're using that to weaken the population. That's a weapon of war, right? Like we picked up these dolls in one of the dope stores the other day. Look, it says it's a puppet. It says, what does it say? It says, "Take me home. I'm for sale." Like the puppets. The puppets that are the major bloggers that you know. I know it's unpopular to say this, but Charlie Kirk was a puppet, and he was a Zionist puppet, and then he went off script and he got killed, right? But the and here's another one. There's Daddy Puppet, Mama Puppet, and Baby Puppet, right? And this is a bong. I mean, this is not a bong. This is like a pipe for smoking dope. They're selling these in the stores around here, right? This is one of the major weapons of war is intoxicants, not just cannabis, but it can be alcohol, prescription drugs, and that sort of thing. And when it comes, the most serious form of warfare is information war. And a subset of that is psychological operations. And when it comes to psychological operations, intoxicants, right? Intoxicants, whether it be alcohol or whatever. One of the ways that we destroyed the Indians and Native Americans was with firewater. Spirits, right? Evil spirits. We hit them with the spirits. We hit them with alcohol. And that was really diminished. And this is a common weapon. It's not just Americans versus Native American versus Indians. It's also Chinese using opium on people. They still do it. Fentanyl. This is a major weapon. I read a lot of history, and that just pops up over and over and over, right? It never ends. And you hear people now saying, well, cannabis doesn't make people violent. I'm like, hello. The word assassin came from that, right? Hashashin, the getting people up on the cannabis and then actually using them for assassins. That's an old name. The name assassin actually came from, from actually using cannabis to get people, or hash, actually getting people messed up to do assassinations. That's actually where it came from. I mean, what I'm getting to is when it comes to warfare, intoxicants and music, weaponized music, are so many people over the years, believe it or not, have come to me about depression and that sort of thing. For whatever reasons, they've come to me, and so I've learned a few things about depression because I'm not depressed, right? And that's why they come to me. They can see that I'm not. And they're like, after all the stuff you've been through, why aren't you depressed? And I'm like, here, let me see your music. Okay, let's see what's on your music. There it is. Elton John, gotta go. All this sad stuff, gotta go. All this country stuff where we're drunk in the bar meeting a pretty girl, gotta go, right? So just throw out the whole thing, right? And don't listen to anything that makes you sad or angry. None of that music, no intoxicants, no prescription drugs at all, unless your life is depending on it. You know what I mean? And certainly not anything that modifies your mood. And, don't take sleeping pills. Nobody needs that crap, right? And what you need to go to sleep is to be sleepy, right? You need to, you know what I mean? If you're not sleepy, keep walking. Anyway, I can talk for hours. I should be quiet. I know Jamie's got something to say. I can tell.
Yeah.
I'll be
No,
quiet,
I mean,
sir.
I'll say that. to what you said, but also social media is so crazy as people are being so brainwashed. I mean, all these people, like, they were awake during the COVID thing, whatever. Now they are woke again. They're following the government. Oh, this is the best president ever. Come on. It's
Exactly.
everything is a game. Everything is a game. Forever, for many centuries, you go weak government, strong government. Everybody's more control, more control, more control. And then people asking, "Oh, Chicago is going crazy. I need the National Guard coming here. I need that." Okay, more control. And what happened? Now you send the army to the country. Now any president can do the same thing, and then it will come another weak government, destroy the country, and then you people asking like crazy. I need a strong government now to come here. At the same, everything is for control. It's like I always say to the people, it's the same bird. Right wing, left wing, people are so excited. Oh, right wing is up. Oh, left wing is up. But the bird is going to the same direction, to the same place. And I mean, and that's the problem. And now people that were awake before now are so woke because they don't see more than 2 feet in front of them. And like I said, it's important. Social media, music. Uh, Here in Canada, I mean, we have the same thing. A store, like, I mean, a couple of blocks from here is two stores from marijuana and things like that.
You're in Canada now?
Yeah, I'm in Canada right now. I
Oh,
mean, and then it's stores everywhere also from the marijuana. And during COVID thing, that happened. Gym were closed, but all the liquor store, all the drug store, they were open. And the people imagine, they say, "Oh, it's for the kids. I mean, you cannot go. It's health for the kids. You cannot go to the park." But if the parents can be having marijuana and drinking in their homes, teaching the kids what? Nothing. And that's what I said. And the problem is that people don't see it. It's so they are so dumb down. I mean, that they are so comfortable doing nothing. I mean, here in Canada, I mean, they are so happy. Yeah, go to work, come home, have a beer, watch a hockey game, and go to sleep, and that's their life. And they think they are free. They think they are happy, and they live a life that they don't live one day of their life. One day of their life. I mean, and getting help and getting every time more and more unhealthy. I mean, and they complain and they go and take drugs, like I said, Michael said. I mean, and medicine, and go to the doctor. And doctor never said go and do exercise. They said, okay, you can take this pill, you can help with this pill, and people are becoming weak, lazy, and stupid. I'm sorry to say that. I mean, maybe I am also coming like that. I mean, but we are being brainwashed and we are being played, and we don't see it anymore.
Mm.
that's.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
So for the mental health, you guys have brought up so much alcohol, drugs, social media, and music. And what would be a tip for the men if they are doing all those things? How do you slowly, or do you rip the band-aid off? How do you feel better?
Stop. One step at a time, but start right now, like right now, right? Like not tomorrow, start right now. And I did. Many people ask, they just assume I have PTSD because I did so much combat. A lot of people have seen so many of the videos and photos that I shot in years of combat, and I don't have PTSD. And they're like, yes, you do. You just don't know it. And I'm like, get away from me with that cooties, right? They're trying to give you, they like try to insert it into you. That's one of the things that happens. And it comes at you from a social level. Well, everybody who's been to war must have PTSD. Get out of here with that stuff, right? I don't have time for it, right? We don't have to. Just because you went to war doesn't mean you're going to come back and have to sleep under a bridge like an alcoholic bum, right? And you need to talk straight like that, not like beating around the bush. Oh, you poor fella, you know what I mean? That's why you robbed the bank. Listen, if I were a judge and a veteran came in to me and he goes, "Well, I robbed the bank because I went to war and I'm an alcoholic," and I'd be like, "Well, that's you got 18 years, right?" And okay, next, you know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, I wouldn't give him I would. The fact is, we coddle people in so many ways and make excuses for everything. So now you end up with men who are not actually men, they're boys in men's bodies, right? Like Trump. Trump is a boy in a man's body. He's never grown up. He's actually behaving like almost, I mean, on an emotional level, sometimes he's like he's pre-adolescent actually, with very little empathy. He still pushes the death jabs and that sort of thing. I mean, the guy is a mass murderer, straight up, hardcore, right? I mean, this not beat around the bush. But when it comes to one of the things I've noticed is I would take breaks from the wars and I would just walk around the Himalaya mountains, right? And I walk very far. And I would walk for a month at a time, that sort of stuff. Walk up to Mount Everest, that sort of thing, right? And just walk to the bottom, not to the top. And I carried a big Pelican case filled with books and candles and that sort of thing. I didn't carry it. I had a pony that carried it. And so, I mean, but that way at nighttime I could read books and that sort of thing. But one of the things I've noticed during long walks is, believe it or not, you'll become smarter by doing long walks. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but or maybe it doesn't, because when you walk really, because there's a lot of stuff that's in our minds right now that's not sorted out. And you have to, so it's like a messy room. You got all this knowledge, like all three of us and everybody listening has a lot of knowledge in their minds that they're so busy they haven't just been really quiet and sorted it out. But when you go for these long walks, like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll start to, like, wait a minute, now I see the connections with that. And it's stuff that's already in your mind. You don't need to be Googling around or looking in the books anymore. It's already in your mind. You just need to sort it out, right? And what I'm saying is, long walks, even if you're just doing them around your home or whatever, are very, very helpful. Super, not just fitness wise, but also in sorting out your thoughts, right? To start to see through a lot of the brainwashing that Jamie mentioned, being brainwashed and we don't even know it. But when you go for these long walks and you're not distracted by anything, for whatever reason, things start to become more clear to you. And so you're doing multiple things at once. You're doing the walks, which are just good for you, and fresh air, sunlight, and you get a chance to sort things out. And I used to just do that between breaks and the wars, and then I go back to combat, and spend, I spent 4 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. Then I did a lot of other fighting right here in Bangkok, and I mean lethal fighting right here, right down the road from where I'm at right now, right? But I'm fine. And what I'm getting to is, we can't let people assign our feelings to us, right? People are like, you poor baby, you've had such a hard time. You lost a parent, or I lost my mother when I was 7 years old, right? That's the worst thing in my whole life. Nothing else comes close, right? But what am I going to do? Spend the rest of my time as a mess about it? No, you move on. What would your mother want, right? What would your mother want? Your mother would want you. My mother and I we used to have breath holding contests. Like, she taught me and my sister and my brother how to swim before we could walk. I don't remember a day of my life that I could not swim. I don't remember learning how to swim. I could swim literally, like, at the same time I could walk, right? Because my mother expected that. I remember one time I was out messing with some wasps, and I did what, boys do, mess with the wasp. There's some wasps. Those are dangerous. And I threw a rock or whatever, and one stung me on the cheek, right? That hurt, And so I ran to my mother crying, and she's like, well, don't throw rocks at wasp anymore, right? She wasn't like coddling me, you poor baby. She's like, you learned your lesson. Okay, now go play. You're fine. Let me see it. Yeah, it's good. You're not going to die. So, you know what I mean? That you need the strong mother, and you need women that expect strong men, right? Because the men will respond to that expectation. So it's a give and take between the women. When the women expect strong men, they'll get stronger men. But when the women are trained to, have a weak man as your other girlfriend, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of girlfriends that are men, right? As opposed to somebody that'll like defend you like a bear's coming. Hey, that's my job. I got to defend you against the bear. Straight up. Maybe I make it, maybe I don't. But it's my job, right?
And like I said, the same thing like you said. I mean, and many times the problem are the parents. The parents are creating weak people. I mean, why? Because now they are friends of their kids. I mean, we are not friends of our kids. We are parents. We have to make a discipline of them from there and telling them what their job is. They said, oh, guys are so weak because mom and dad make these people weak. I remember my sister, one of the boys, he came to her and said, Mom, I think I broke my arm. And she goes, okay, wait, I am busy right now. And I go, what's he broke his arm? I mean, if I run every time he does something, I mean, I'll be crazy. Now, if he broke his arm, it's okay, he's not bleeding, he can wait. And that's it. And the kids are very strong. I mean, I can see them. My nephew, I'm proud of them because they are real men. And the thing is, that the problem, and I mean, I hate kids with this plush toys, whatever, because they need security blanket, they need safe space. Come on, they don't need anything. They need to confront everything. You have to be strong to confront everything. I mean, I remember when one time I broke my arm, and I went to my dad, was a doctor. I go, I broke my arm, Dad, and he said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to hit something without having to break your arm. And then he said, okay, and he didn't say, oh, poor guy. Never. In our generation, we were never told. Well, I mean, the moms usually sometimes they will go, yeah, come on, my baby, whatever. The moms,
Right.
but I mean, but it's different now. People for comfort, for whatever they want. Oh, your kids is play. A kid crying here, have the phone, play with it. Here, have the tablet, play with it. They don't want to take care of the kids, and then they'll complain. And I see this. I mean, I train kids in survival skills, and also I was award. I was in many things. I remember when I was on the streets, and I remember with my one of the best hotel for me, like it was in that moment, was a 5-star hotel for me. It was a Salvation Army hotel, but I did it. I never complained. I always told myself like, from the outside, it's a temporary situation. And the moment you blame somebody or you blame something for that, then you become a victim, and then you
That's
have
right.
excuses for everything. And that's why I tell you, I mean, when you say the situation, the economy is bad, so what? I mean, some people are making it. I mean, just find a way to do it. And I tell you that every time in bad situation, some people are crying and some people are selling handkerchief. But
I'm gonna I'm gonna start using that one.
because I mean, this is the thing. If you think yourself as a weak person, the world is against you, the world is against you, because I mean that's the way you see it. But you say no. I mean, I just have to figure out the right way to do it. Then you can confront the situation. And I see this now for when I go to training these kids. I was saying, uh, kids or young adults, 20 or 18, whatever, they are the weakest men. I mean, I go with kids from 8 years old to 10 years old. They don't care if there's minus 35 Celsius outside, or if uh, or it's hot or whatever. They don't care. But the guys, oh, it's too cold. We can go. I mean, we have to skin a sheep. Or the big guys, I mean, with big gloves because they don't want the blood there. And you see the kids, and they don't care the blood running. They are so happy doing it. And then what happened? These kids, they grow up and they go to school, and they are completely brainwashed at the school. They brainwashed with the parents, and like I said, and what can you expect? These teachers that they have in the school right now, they are brainwashed teachers. I mean, and who's going to give you the education? Another brainwashed teachers.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So it's a whole architecture of weakness, and we have to break through that, smash it, and go back to the way our grandparents were.
Hmm.
Bottom line. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're doing it.
And do you think that the men, they respond to the direct approach, being told directly, hey, try this, do this, improve yourself?
100%. Especially the ones that are worth being around. The men that are worth being around, they respond a lot more to, hey, it's time to be a man and do man stuff, And if they respond like a child to that, then move on, because I like to be around men. When I was in the army, I liked being around the most serious soldiers in the army. I liked being around those guys. That's why I like Marines so much because, Marines are like, okay, let's get it on. You know what I mean? It's time to fight. When I went out with them in Iraq and Afghanistan, I like to go out with the people that, hey, it's time to do Marine stuff. I mean, we shouldn't have been in those wars, but when I was there, it was great to be with infantry soldiers, Army, Marines, the whole things. And men like to be around other men. They like to be around. There's a reason why they have those men's club. Women need to have girls, and boys need to have girls and boys time, and men and women need to have men and women time, right? And so that men can talk about man stuff, bottom line, and women can talk about women stuff, bottom line, right? And then we make this wonderful team when we're together, right? It's a wonderful team, but we have to realize too that what everybody in generations before us knew, what I mean, and some of us still know. We three know, and so spread the word.
So male friendship is very important.
Yeah. I mean,
Very,
it's so
yeah.
important. Like, I can tell you this. When I go to the forest with some people, I mean, and then I mean, I'm an older guy. I mean, and we are working and doing something. Nobody wants to be the first one to give up. We are tired,
That's right.
but we keep trying because it's like inside our mind, we want to show that we are like strong, and we push ourselves harder when we are surrounded by men. I mean, doing these type of things. And the same thing was during the war. I wasn't a regular army because we were fighting against communism in my country. But I mean, uh, we 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 always trying to prove ourselves that we are better, and that's the good competition. You are not competing. You're not telling them you are competing with them. You are competing with yourself. You're improving yourself. You're pushing yourself because you have this ambition to be like a good man. But if they tell you, like now, they tell you for everything. Oh, you're okay. You are beautiful. You are nice. Don't worry. Come on. You are not beautiful. You are nice. You're not. You have to worry. I mean, you have to work hard to get it. Oh no, you lost last place. Oh no, you had a trophy for participation. You have the thing. Everything is to make people weak, uh, idiots, really, in a way, because education, they lie to you now. Oh no, they pass you grade after grade, even if you don't you fail, because I mean, oh no, it's going to affect his psyche or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I mean, it's amazing how they are pushing so hard to dumb down the population. It's so amazing. It's easy to control because it's easy to control, and you can see it. I mean, in United States. I mean, I love United States, but you can see it how people are such a followers now. Yeah, I mean, here in Canada it's worse. I mean, but the United States also, I mean, it's supposed to be always talking about we got the guns, we got this, we got that, and then at the end, nothing happened. I mean, and they're always talking about how powerful they are in their country. Let's see if they come to my place, and they go, they put the new laws and everything, and they are applauding. Come on, and now they have a savior, and now, okay, now we can relax because of our savior. Come on, I mean, it's so much brainwashing that I cannot believe it. What's
But
going
for
on?
the men who are very brainwashed, there are those tips for healthy mind, healthy body. But what is something practical for the men who are struggling? What would you tell them? Something practical.
First, no, like we already mentioned, just clean up your life. No intoxicants, period. No, none. There's no time for that crap. There's no time to be watching baseball and drinking beer every night and that sort of thing. It's time to study up, study, read important things too. Read, not trash stuff, because it's our job to educate the next generation. So we have to be educated to do that. I mean, Jamie's teaching survival. Jamie, where are you from? May I ask?
Nicaragua.
Oh, you were fighting the communists in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Wow. Where are you from in Nicaragua?
Leon.
Oh, I went down to Amontepe before a long time ago.
Yeah.
The islands there,
The
and
lake.
yeah, that was, I don't know, that was 25 years ago or so. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I haven't been to Nicaragua in a while. I've been to all the neighbors recently, up in Honduras and Guatemala and in El Salvador. I went there recently. Actually, El Salvador is doing pretty well right now. Actually, yeah, I mean, I would weirdly recommend El Salvador as a place for vacation right now. I would take my family there. Actually, Masako and I went. Weirdly, I mean, El Salvador used to be the most dangerous place on earth, probably, and now I'd say go on vacation. It was safe. I liked it. Yeah.
It's a nice country. But I can tell you this, I don't trust government. I don't trust any government. I mean, I am.
No,
Some people
sir.
say I'm anarchist, but I mean, it's not anarchism. It's like
That's
everybody.
experience.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
experience.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And that's experience. Like, we went down to Argentina and everybody's like worshiping Melee and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm not. I know how this goes, or worshiping Trump or worshiping that guy Obama and all those guys, right? You know what I mean? And it's just all a big facade. It's a big game. And you were
Yeah.
fighting communism. I mean, there's no bigger brainwashing than communism. It's unbelievable. I spent so much time with communism and like, with communists in so many different countries, and they're just inevitably incredibly brainwashed. And they can be actually good people. A lot of them are farmers and whatnot, and but they got that infection in their mind because that's what it is. And now they're
Yeah.
like a meat bot. They're a robot made out of meat.
In
Like I said,
addition to,
one person is smart, but in a group they become numb, and that's the thing. That's what most people is followers. I mean, they are followers. They follow, and they even they are uh, alone. They're following also social media and to become
Mhm.
part of be part of a group because they think they need to be part of any group and they have to comply with whatever rules they put it. Like I said, I go to the farm here, so a friend farm, and I go there and I spend a time alone by myself alone. It's the best thing you can do sometimes. Walk, work with the animals, and think, and prepare for what's coming on and analyze everything without the pressure of watching news or watching social media or listening to anything. Just think yourself deep inside of you. Think what it is life going on in life, and you'll discover so many things. Like you said, Michael. I mean, walking around. I mean, but also I spent 1 week. I have spent 3 weeks really by myself right now, just by myself, nobody else. I mean, only the animals, goats, cows, pigs, and dogs. Amazing.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I
It
mean,
was
everybody
amazing.
needs time like that, and then it's transformative, and need to do it periodically. You teach survival. Do you take young people out to the forest or what?
Yeah, I take them and then teach them how to build shelters, how to get help, how to use compass or how to use the sun for
Hmm.
orientation. I teach about young kids because there's a new generation, and I always said, if we go to a political meeting, you only see people 50 plus. It's weird because I say, what's going on with the young people? I mean, in my time, I was 17 when I joined the fighting against the communism. I mean, I was 17 years old, and
Right.
we were rebels. Now being a rebel is supporting the big corporations, supporting the government. I mean, and they think that yeah, we are doing something. And the thing is, I always tell people the problem right now with the new generation is like they are so brainwashed that they don't have hope for their own life. And you give them a reason to feel that useful, and then they follow. That's why when the COVID thing and when the garbage, they say, "Oh, I do it for my grandparents. I do it for this. I fulfill my duty," because they have no hope in their own life. They think themselves so useless that they want to find something to be proud of themselves, and they're so easy to manipulate them. And that's the whole idea. They're making people so weak and so useless in the way that if you give them a small reason, uh, abortion, no, the pink hat, everybody in the Facebook pink hat and the thing pink hat, the Ukrainian flag, everybody, and they think, I am doing my part. I am doing my part. Come on. I mean, it's so ridiculous, but they don't see it.
Yeah, you were fighting communists when you were 17 years old. You were a man already at 17. But now we're teaching young people that they're children until they're like 30, right? I've literally heard people say they'll actually look at people less than 30 as like they're just older children. What are you talking about? It's like, 17 years old is a grown man. And people that age should be treated like that. They shouldn't be treated like they're a minor when they're 18. When I was 18 years old, I was going through Green Beret selection. You know what I'm saying? It's like, seriously. I mean, you're not a child when you're 20 years old. You're a man or you're a woman, right? You don't have as much experience yet as you're going to get. Hopefully, you're going to get. But like you, fighting communists at 17. Once you go through a phase like that, you're never going back to childhood. It's over. It's long gone.
mm. And so for mental health, would you also add in addition to staying away from the narcotics, also pornography?
Absolutely. Masako and I were just talking about that yesterday and today. I mean, like the things that are used to destroy us is intoxicants, right? Artwork, actually, music, weaponized music, pornography is huge, and so many other control mechanisms. But the big ones are intoxicants. This mal artwork, like crap like this. I mean, this is literally a dope pipe into the shape of a doll. You're smoking out of the baby's head. You can't make up this stuff, right? And the music, weaponized music, but the pornography, and it's everywhere, right? It just destroys everything that's should be sacred, right? should be treated as no. We're not animals. We're not monkeys, right? And that just brings us down to the monkey level.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Pornography, it works also because uh, I see and I've been pushing in the schools, from the schools, and kids like very young start watching pornography, and they lose reality. And now with this AI thing, and now they're creating their own ideas or so the perfect women for them or men. I mean, I couldn't believe it the other day looking at this thing that they said now there's a problem because they want to see if you have a virtual girlfriend, if you are betraying your wife. I mean, if you are cheating on your wife, I mean, because if you are a virtual girlfriend, I mean, it's crazy how people are behaving now, and also even with the religion. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I mean, I believe in God. I believe in Christ 100%, but I don't follow any religion because it's a man-made religion. Always another thing to control people. Because I mean, but like I mean, now they are this new age religion that you are the center of everything and you are perfect. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't worry about it because you're amazing. You're beautiful. They're teaching you that, and it's growing so fast because people have they don't they don't have any goals in life, really goals in life. They don't know what's going on. They just want to be okay. And like I said, people now are not living their life. They can be maybe now they're going to last 100 years or more because all the technology maybe, but they're not living their life. If a 20-year-old guy, when I was 17, 18, 20 years old, I mean, I lived my life more than people that were 90 because I did so much, and I was excited, and I proud myself. I change my jobs every time, and I do different things. I started different companies. I lost everything during COVID because I couldn't fly out of Canada, but I don't care. I mean, I am starting again. I am going to be 64, and I'm starting again like nothing, and I feel like I can do whatever I want because number one, I don't blame anyone. It was my fault. If I lost everything during COVID, it was my fault because I didn't prepare. I didn't see it. I mean, that's how stupid I was. I didn't see what's coming up. I blame myself. And then I said, okay, you blame myself, what are you going to do? Cry? No, you cannot cry. And I saw this one with this kid, one of the kids, my friend, he got, last week, he got lost in the forest. He's 12 years old. And what he said, he went and he was prepared. And then for a moment, he said he wasn't cry. He said, no, I have to find out the way. And then he walked, he found a road. He said, okay, I have to follow the road because the road is going to get me some place. Then he got to the place and then found a people, and the people called it the dad because the dad, his dad. I mean, he shot by memory the phone number, his dad, everything. They don't allow to use any technology right now. They homeschool, and they are so smart. And I can see them. He got lost, but he kept the cool. He didn't panic. He was prepared, and he found a way to get out. When his father got him, he cried a little bit, the emotion, but he kept the cool because he was prepared to do that. He was taught to how not to lose control, how to be a real man at 12 years old. And that's the thing. These kids are going to be different. And that's why when I do the training, I'm looking for leaders. That's why I do my training on resilience. Now I'm starting a new business teaching kids resilience, leadership, public speaking, and how to defend from bullying. And I'm going to start my own. There'll be classroom mixing with some activities. And it's so important because I'm looking for leaders. I'm looking for leaders because, I mean, 80% of the population is the masses. They will follow whoever is leading them. I mean, that's why I said you have to be a winner, and the people follow winners. They don't care. They don't want to complicate their life. And then there are the people that have no clue about what's going on. The people that know what's going on, but they don't want to fight because they are very comfortable in their little life. And then the people that are fighting. But the people that are fighting is 15% maybe, but most of the people are followers. And then that's what I used to do. I am looking for the leaders, for the people that can lead and fight this war because I mean, I am on my way out, but at least I want to leave someone to follow my things. And then I got my daughters, but they are very strong and they are fighting. But I looking for leaders, and that's why I started this business.
Mm. So the young men, they are the leaders, the future, and we have to care about the young men.
It's very important. I bet you the best thing that's ever happened in that young man's life that got lost was getting lost in the forest alone. That's great. I mean, seriously, that's very good, especially that he kept us cool because he'll remember that. You know, because I know his heart skipped when he was lost out there. I've been lost too. You know, and your heart kind of skips and you're like, well, it's up to me now. It's like, it's between
Adversity is
me and
good for
me.
you.
You know, what's that?
Adversity is good for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, starting off, and as you know, you're teaching survival. You want just enough adversity it makes you, it challenges you, but not enough that you get eaten by a bear. You know, but you know, coming close is good. you know, It's funny that you mentioned, Jamie. You mentioned about they got these AI where you can find your perfect girlfriend or whatever. It's interesting because Masako, my wife and I, we were in a store yesterday, and there was this little shrine where they were selling stuff like this, but it was a different store, and it was build your own religion. It was actually build your own shrine, build your own belief system. So what Jamie just said about build your magic girl or whatever, it was the same, but it was with your own belief system.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, I mean, we both stopped and we're like, wow, we took photos of it. Here we go. Misako actually about maybe 3 years ago, she and Chuck Holton, our mutual friend, they interviewed a man in Tokyo, and I went with them to the interview, who married a plastic doll. It was one of those anime dolls, and it was really creepy. And this guy, it was unbelievable. I mean, the thing is like when we were there with him, I felt kind of sorry for him because I didn't feel like he was a bad guy. I was like, this is actually like I can sense that he's actually a good guy, but he's been captured. His brain is being. What he needed is to be around a man that says, "Hey, that plastic doll goes to the dump." You know what I mean? It's like, and like, come on, man, we're going fishing. It's like, and, we're going to go catch an alligator or something, as opposed to, no, we're going to play, like he was playing music that his wife, the plastic doll, had composed, stuff like it's just total brainwashing. And again, when I was with him and Misako, who's right over here now, I mean, we were all in the same little apartment in Tokyo. None of us felt like he was a bad guy. We all had the sense that he was a good guy that got captured. And that's what we have to work to do is not let our men and women get captured.
mm.
And then also, I mean, I know some people won't like this, but I mean, I can tell you this: it doesn't matter what. For me, when a married couple have baby, the mom has to stay home. I hate those in that. Oh no, the father stay home because the mom. No, I mean the provider has to be the man. And the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I am very against that thing that men just stay home taking care of the babies and things like that. I mean, no, I mean I hate that because men's I mean, as a man, I will feel so bad that I'm not providing. I mean, even I taking care. I mean, I still see that as a mom's job. Number one, the mom can never be the same love that can a dad give to a kid. I mean, I know. I mean, the mom is different because I have my dad that loved me. I have my mom that loved me, but I know my mom. The love that my mom gave me was very different than the one. My father was disciplined. He was like he came home, everybody was quiet because I mean he came home, and with my mom we were more open. She fight sometimes with us a little bit, trying to put order. But as soon as or she said, "I'm going to tell your dad what you did," oh my God! I mean, we knew discipline, and we love our dad. But that's the thing. I mean, moms are good to educate the kids, and especially before they go to school, everything and during the school. I mean, but I like that old style. I mean, mom stay home, dad provide, and make the discipline, and that's why our generation was better in a way because now the people said we I was punished. I mean, I was spanked. I was with given the belt and hard many times, and I deserve it. And I don't see any trauma on me. I mean, and people,
No,
no,
I got the belt too. I got the belt. Or my grandmother, go pick your own switch.
yeah, it's,
My father was the belt. Granny was the switch.
yeah, the thing, and we never get trauma. I mean, we were educated, we were scared. I mean, my mother used to tell me we were doing something at the store, and my mom said, "Okay, when we get home, we talk." Oh my God, that was like nothing, never happened anything when we got home, but you were
Yeah.
thinking what's going to happen, and then you behave because it was discipline. You respect your parents. You didn't see them as a friend. You see them as somebody that you can trust. That you can you knew they would have situation under control, and you felt okay. You felt safe with your parents. And still, I mean, if my mom is going to be is 90 now, and she's but I when I talk to her, I feel safe. For some reason, I feel safe. Even when my dad was in his bed, very, I mean, before he died, he was for 1 year. He was really in bad shape. I went to see him, and I felt safe with him. That sense of power that he had over me in the way that he gave me so much security that even in that moment, I felt that I was safe with him. And that's the good thing. But I said, that's why the division, mom and dad, I mean, and both jobs are so important. It's so important. But I believe the mom's job is more important than dad's job. But the moms have to stay home for me.
Strong moms are very important. Strong, highly serious moms are very important. As you know, hand that rocks the cradle.
Yeah. And then, like I said, we have to be that way. We have to teach the kids from the beginning to be strong. And most of the time, the parents are the problem. The parents are the problem because I mean the parents are so soft. They don't care about the kids. They create the kids on autopilot. They really don't take care of the kids, and then they complain, and they want the kids out of the house very soon. I mean, we are Latinos. We stay home, and our kids stay home with us until wherever they want to live. But I mean, but they work. They are responsible. They everything. Doesn't mean that staying home, they go live in the basement, do nothing. No, they have to do everything. They have to do their age. But we don't care about if they stay home. But I mean, we teach them. And we teach them how to be a real woman or how to be a real man. I mean, as my daughter said, they can't find men anymore. She's so worried about it because I mean, all these people they are or sick in the mind, drinking, just want to have sex, weak. I mean, and for them it's really hard because I mean, she used to myself, their 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 uncles and nephews. I mean, they take care of it, and that's the problem right now because I said you are here. Sometimes there's a couple walking in front of me, and I don't know which one is the man and which one is the woman. I have to get ahead in front of them and look at them and see, oh, this is the guy because they dress the same, they walk the same, and they look the same from the back. It's amazing how weak that we have become.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And again, weakness breeds weakness and strength breeds strength. Like you radiate strength. Like, you're talking about like, I mean, you were at war when you were 17. You know what happened if you screw up, it's over. Ain't gonna be any second chances. It's like, and that's the kind of life that really boys and girls, especially boys, they need to be brought up in a very serious environment early on. Like, hey, you mess with that bad dog and it might bite your hand off, like literally, right? This is no joke, right? I used to hunt alligators when I was a kid, right? The biggest one I ever got was when I was 14 years old. It was 12 feet, 3 inches. And I shot it almost point blank, right? It was very close. Almost got my brother, right? But those sorts of things, we ate it. I mean, that's the kind of the way that children need to grow up. We took some kids down to, or I shouldn't say we, Chuck Colton, a friend of ours, he brought some young men. They weren't kids, they were young men. He brought them down to the Darien Gap, and they had gone to this academy in Texas called the Alert Academy. I don't know anybody there, but he brought these young men down there, and it's an academy where they're doing what we're talking about now, where they teach the young men how to like build a house and get get a pilot license and EMT and all this stuff to give you real man skills, right? When he brought those young men down to the Darien Gap, we're down in the jungle with the Imbra Indians. I was like, man, these are actually young men. They're not teenagers. They're actually, they're only 17 or 18 years old, but they're actually young men, right? And because we're out, there because that's where invasion is coming through. The United Nations is invading United States through the Darien Gap, and that's why we were out there with the Indians. But one thing that's very good for young people, I think, would be to take them out with those Indians in the Darien Gap, because the Indians, those kids are very well behaved, by the way. And I mean, the Indian, I'm usually out with either Kuna Indians or Imbra Indians. These kids, they can swim. And I mean, we're like 3 hours by boat, way up the river, way out in the jungle. Happiest kid you've ever seen. And I've talked with my wife is Japanese, and I asked her recently, who do you think's better mannered, Japanese children or Imbra Indian children? And she's like, actually, for some things, Imbra, clearly. And I would say the same thing. Japanese children are extremely well behaved, extremely. But Imbra, those Indian kids, they're like amazingly well behaved, and they never ask or beg for anything. All they want you to do is watch them climb way up in a tree and jump in the river. You're like, watch me, I'm going to meet out. I'm going to. They speak Spanish, and they speak Imbra too. But so they're going up, and they love to roll in the mud. They want you to see them, shoot their bows and arrows and stuff. One time I was in this village a couple of years ago out in the jungle, and these young boys, they're like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old. They were they were about 5 and 6, I would say. There were several of them, and I was talking with these migrante that were coming through, and these boys, they kept Imbra Indian boys, they kept running behind me and laughing, and I'm like, they're up to something. And I asked them, "What are you doing?" I know because I was a boy like that, and I know they're up. I'm like watching them. What are they doing? They're laughing and they're hiding behind me. I'm like, what is up with you? You know what I mean? And then, and they keep, the next thing I'm talking migrante, and the boys are hiding behind me again. And finally, I realized they were throwing rocks at bees and hiding behind me. Yeah. that's, that's like, what are you doing? Get out of here. You know what I mean? That was exactly the same boy. You know what I mean? That's, except I got stung on the cheek. But I love going out there with the Indians, man. If you ever want to bring some of the kids down there, or the young people to the jungle down there, I'll take you down to the jungle in the Darien Gap, and they can go hunting and fishing with the Imbra Indians. They'd probably love that.
Yeah, yeah, because we here we do sometime we through the arrow, and we do the we use some rifles sometimes just to trade them. They love that. Like I said, kids 12, 9, 10, 11, they're great. 12 up to 15. Over 15, they start becoming like they don't want to touch things. They don't want to get dirty. It's amazing, and I believe that this is the school thing, that they are deep in, they have been old in the school already is making them weak, and also all the things that they take. I mean, most of this medicine, I would say that if you have a headache, you take a pill, and then next time you have a headache, you take a pill. The body start getting used to you getting something else to help you with the headache. But if you don't take
Right.
anything, you fight back, and then the body is ready to fight back the headache. And the same thing happened with everything. All this thing. I mean, now, oh, you have depression here, boom, yeah, and then you have depending all your life is pill, because if you take
They're
away your
giving
pill,
marijuana for depression, Jamie.
yeah,
Can
exactly.
you believe that crap?
It's crazy. They dumb you down. You are
Yeah.
in different world, and that's the problem. They all this medicine. I don't take any medicine. I mean, I don't take anything, and I was pushing people, don't do it, don't take it, just fight it. I mean, fight with yourself. I mean, you can do it. There's a natural things. Go out. I mean, for me, I mean, I go in minus 30 Celsius, or whatever. I go out in my shirt after doing the gym. I went to the river to by -15 and swim in the gym, because those is what help you. Some people say, you're going to get sick. No, you're getting strong, because when you do this temperature change, your body is getting strong. Is getting used to, and that's why these kids in north in Siberia or up north in Canada, they go out and they shower them on outside with minus temperatures, because that's the way your body gets strong, because your body and your mind together, the perfect machine, is everything. You don't need anything else. I mean, people say there's miracles. Oh, you're a miracle. No, it's not a miracle. You are your own miracle. You are your own miracle. And like I was said, you can ask God for the strength, because God doesn't get involved with you. I mean, because he will be God, if God get involved with you, why he will help one? No, there'll be another one. No, he gives you strength when you have faith. And some people have so much faith in God that they cure themselves in many things. But it's not because God cured them; it's because they have faith they're going to get cured. And your mind is so powerful, and
It is.
that they can help you to cure. I mean, it's like I had it like sometime about back pain. I was so bad. I mean, what I did, I do more exercise at the back and things like that, and prepare it slowly, and it's okay. I mean, you have to work. It's not easy, because it's easier to take a pill and get the pain away for the moment, but then you become dependent on the pill. The same thing, diabetes. I mean, you can work with diabetes, but you have a good diet, everything is gone. And why you get the diabetes? Because you got the diabetes because you were eating garbage all the time and doing nothing. That's why you got the diabetes. But if you don't, if you, even you get the diabetes, you can get away with the diabetes if you a good diet, a good exercise, and help you. Because I said the body and mind are the perfect machine. I always preach that everybody. I say, be healthy, do exercise, eat well, and you'll see how much the difference in yourself. And that's for me so important.
And you'll be happy. That's the
Yeah.
weird thing. You'll be happy. You don't need any of that crap. You know what you need to be happy? You need to, one thing is get your sleep. Right? Misako always says, you wake up happy. And I do. Despite all the things that we know and that we study and, uh, I'm happy. Why? God didn't make me to be sad. I'm not going to run around moping all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, like, look at you. You lost your business during COVID. You're not making any excuses. You're like, oh, I screwed up. I'm going to fix it. It's like that's the way men are. You know what I mean? Men are like,
Yeah.
oh, my house burned down. Okay, crying's over. Let's rebuild. It's like, here we go. You know?
Yes, I always tell people, life is not easy, but it's beautiful. And when I
Yep.
die, I don't. I want to go with a smile and say, I have a great
That's
life. I
right.
don't want to go like I was. Oh my God, it was so bad. I spent all my life. I didn't do anything. No, I want to say, yeah, man, I enjoyed this life, and I promise myself, when after I die, next day I coming back, because I love this life. I love here, and I coming
I'm
back.
the
I mean,
same way. I love being alive, but I'm not afraid to die. And I can tell you're not afraid to die either. It's kind of obvious, actually. And and once you reach that level, then you are happy. Weirdly, I don't know why, but it's a paradox, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. You're right. I mean,
Yeah,
if I die, I die. I mean, I would say,
yeah,
I believe my life is really nice. I mean, if I die today, I'll be happy, because I said, oh, wow, man, I did a lot. I did more than many people.
yeah.
And I did, true, I have another plans. I want to stay here for longer, but I
Exactly.
mean,
I want to live, but I'm not afraid to go either.
exactly, and then life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, and you have to take risks. Even if I said, if you go to a garden, a rose garden, you can watch it from the outside, or you can say, I go inside, smell the flowers, even if I get the thorns in my body. I mean, what you want? I mean, you can say, yeah, it looks that beautiful, but you never taste it. When you go in and you say, yes, they are beautiful. I get all these scars, whatever, from going it, but I enjoy it. I really appreciate what it is, and I tell people, I
Right.
mean, take risks, be happy,
Hmm.
and that will help you a lot in your mind. Don't forget about blaming the situation. Forget about blaming anything. There's always people being happy, and it's inside of you. You don't need anything outside of you. I mean, uh, I used to have so much, like I said, and we lost everything, communism, we lost everything. But so what? I mean, if you have your life, if you are happy, you have your family, it's nice. It's beautiful. I mean, enjoy what you have. Be thankful for what you have, not for what you don't have. Because I mean, even like me, I mean, I live a better life than a lot of people, most of the people in the world. I mean, because I have everything I want. I have to fight for it, but enjoy what you have. Be thankful. I mean, if you are thankful, you are grateful what you have, it is a big thing. Because I mean, people see when you have what you got now, that maybe you didn't dream to have it, and now you're still complaining because you have one more. Of course, your ambition is good, but you have to orient it the right way. I mean, I said, don't let you control the money. Don't let the money control you. And then also, ambition is good, but be ambitious for fixing your community, helping your people around you. Be ambitious about that, doing a lot, and work hard, smart, and the money comes. If you're happy, the money comes. I don't know why, how, everything. I mean, like I said, you hope is always there, and something happened when you have the rope in your neck. Always, just before it starts getting too tight, something happened, and if you are positive, and you have to do it.
You're spiritually strong, and you know how strength is contagious, and so is weakness. Cowardice. You were in war. You know cowardice is contagious, and so is courage. Courage spreads, and cowardice spreads. So we have to spread the good stuff because everything's contagious. So spread the good contagion, right?
Mm. So interesting that for the men, responsibility and risk taking, they're key.
That's right. And you know, like the Thai people here, I call them bamboo people because they're so strong. You know, bamboo is stronger than steel pound for pound, right? And it's a lot lighter for it. And I've seen the Thais go through so much, like tsunami killed huge numbers of people. In Thailand, like 200,000 or something crazy. It was a lot, right? And I've forgotten the numbers, but it was massive. And the Thais they just come right back up. And you know, I've been in a lot of firefights with Thai people here in Bangkok. I mean, like with a lot of fatalities and that sort of thing. And yet, I mean, within minutes, they're just like, right back up. Okay, it's over. Right. It's in the past, like the Lion King and like a good warrior. Right. But they don't then go crazy and become a bunch of alcoholic, druggies or something. Right. There are Thais like that. But a lot of those Thais that I know from the fighting, they just got over it instantly, right? That's why you know how bamboo is. You can knock it down and it'll just go stand right back up again, right? That's the way the Thai people are. So I mean, and there's a lot of cultures like that, right? And so we can learn from those cultures that like Jamie was talking earlier, when a bunch of real men go out together, they're competing with each other, but in a friendly way. I mean, because you're competing because not because you want to beat everybody down, but because your collective strength as a pack, as a team or a pack is important, right? I mean, that's why strong men like to be around strong men because every man knows no matter how strong he is, he needs a team. And that means he needs to be part of a team, right? You're going to do something very serious. It's very important to be part of a team.
Yes.
It's so important. Like I said, don't don't use drugs, don't drink. I remember, I mean, that's thing I'm going to say that when my youngest sister died, we were together, my brother and my sisters, we were together, and then this lady comes and family comes and they bring all this alcohol for us to help us
Yeah.
and we said, sorry, we don't drink, we won't drink. And he said, oh, I was so surprised because I mean the idea for her is you are being in pain, have a drink. I mean, no, we don't. We take the pain as it is, but we don't drink. I mean, we don't hide it. I mean, we don't need that. I mean, that's what is that? You drink and then you after the alcohol is gone, you have to drink again. I mean, no. And that's it. You cannot drink. Don't use drugs. like Michael said, the music is the killing thing. I mean, because it make you depressed or helpless. If people get depressed so easy, I don't know what it to be depressed because, like I said, I mean, the work, like Michael said, make you strong, and also, uh, is it was a, in the horrible thing that happened there. It was the best thing for my life because it created me like a very strong guy in different ways, and it was a good lesson. It was awful, but at the same time, it helped me to confront life. And like I said, but this is important. If people stop drinking, and stop using drugs like marijuana and things like that, all this is a plan to make people weak. And also, don't trust the social media on those things, and think about for yourself. Don't let other people think for you. Like I said, and see that everything is a game all the time. For centuries, weak government, a strong government is a game because what doing is the weak government make you want to have a strong government to take control, and the strong government comes and they take control, and they control you because I mean now they're going to put this Palantir thing with all these
Yeah.
digital IDs, everything, and oh, it's good because yeah, we in UK saying yeah because it's going to help to fight illegal immigration. What do you mean you fight illegal immigration? I mean they
Yeah.
don't come with anything, they don't care. But people believe it. Oh yes, yeah, we need it. We need that. And now United States, the Palantir, yeah, we're going to have everything in one digital ID. And people, yes, yes, because I mean that will be easy to control all these illegals, whatever. This is garbage. It's not for that. It's for controlling you, and you are happy because now you have a savior in power.
Mm.
That's right. Cult stuff. You know, one of the things I've learned is people never see the cult that they're in. And in a cult, a strong cult, the people will do anything, including like put, you know, make baby dolls that are actually dope pipes, right?
Come
Or
on.
you remember during the jab, people are actually vaccinating, or if you want to call it vaccinating, uh, stabbing the needles into their children and putting it on Instagram. I mean, that's like human sacrifice. That's literally like Aztec rolling the babies down the stairs type stuff. You know, and Trump, he still sticks with that. He still sticks with the death jab. And this is October of 2025 right now, and he still sticks with it. That's pretty intense. And there are people that still give him a pass for that. That's hardcore cult stuff right there. So that type of people can be obviously extremely dangerous to us, actually. It doesn't matter what cult it is because you know, if they're weaponized, and the thing is I've studied cults quite a lot, actually. I actually infiltrated and lived with a cult years ago in California. And, you know, I learned a lot about cults and cult making. And I started studying that back when I was still in the Army, actually, because of the, you know, I was in special forces, and it's kind of interesting. It's kind of all related. But at the end of the day, um, the type of brainwashing that happens now is so sophisticated, and they're able to do it so well, like because of these microphones. You know, when Charlie Kirk was just killed, and you had Ben Shapiro saying we're going to basically take his bloody mic and keep running with it, right? I mean, just instantly, right? You know, control of the narrative, control of what we see, control of what we eat, control of what we spend money on. You know, and the digital ID obviously is a prison system. I mean, we see that, you see that. You fought communists. I mean, you know, that's total control mechanism. The communists have never achieved total control because there's always been people on the edges that weren't communists, but they would if they could. And they obviously, as you know, had a huge amount of control. What year did you leave Nicaragua?
uh, 80.
In 80. Oh, that was intense back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, because I went to fight also from Costa Rica. I mean, we were in the fighting in the mountains there. But when I was 14, I formed my first movement, student movement.
When you were
That's what,
14?
yeah, the first organization that I did, it was a student federation fighting against the government. And then I had to leave the
I was
country for
still hunting alligators when I was 14. You were already like starting an insurgency. I mean, that's a
Yeah, I
fairly
don't know why.
advanced.
But my mother said she doesn't know what happened to me. Why I was like, since I was very little. I mean, yeah, I'm 14. I was talking about politics. I remember I went with my sister to a party because together, and because I was the driver, we had to leave. Wanted to leave earlier, and then now a few years ago, one of my friends told me, you know what? You have to sacrifice ourselves because of you. I said, what do you mean? Because we want your sisters to stay at the party, and then one of us has to make a decision who's going to talk politics with Jamie, because that way he can stay
That's
because I
to
want to
divert
leave.
you.
Yeah, and then they one has to sacrifice. They say, one of us has to sacrifice ourselves just to go and talk to you and say something about politics because we knew then you stay for longer. And then I didn't know. I was 13, 14 years old, but it was like I always been interested in history and politics, but not the history that they tell us, the real one in all of my life.
Did you end up working with U.S. Special Forces in Costa Rica or Nicaragua? Or?
No, what happened is
Hmm.
we had a we didn't like the movement that were there because I mean we create our own movement, and we were fighting and we were getting everything from what we get recovered from every combat, and the thing is
Oh, you mean you were taking war spoils to fund your operation? You mean right?
exactly.
Sorry.
Yes. So
Thank you.
I want to know, what's the last piece of advice for the men for health that you have?
Jamie,
Okay, for me is like, okay, number one, take care of your body. Be don't expect anything from anywhere. Take responsibility. Take 100% responsibility about your acts. I mean, it's you the one. You cannot blame anyone. You have to take responsibility. You have to think about the provider. Don't be scared of life. Life is beautiful. Just go and get it. Get what you want, as long as it's something nice. But think always about your community. If you what you're looking for is going to help people, not to damage people, but do it with all this strength that you have. Go 100% in everything. Don't hesitate. If you have an idea, don't hesitate. Go for it, but take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Eliminate everything that is killing you or putting you down in any way. Because I said you can fight everything if you have if you think if you believe in yourself. But that's what I said. I mean, and be take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, mind and body, and do what you need to do. Always thinking and helping the community. Because I mean, that's the main thing. It's nothing more spectacular than seeing that you're helping other people, and because they are becoming better because of you. As a man, that's actually the responsibility to each man, I think.
mm, I would say close it on that because Jamie just said it perfectly. I mean, I would just be, I mean, that's it right there. You said it.
Mm.
Do that.
Thank you so much, Jamie and Michael.
Thank you for arranging this. I really appreciate it from Thailand.
Yeah, Rachel, it's amazing. I finally make Michael.